Getting everything all set up for our live stream. It's good to be back. Let me refresh this thing and make sure I'm coming through fine on your end. And let's hope for no weird interruptions. Looks like I'm on there. Cool. Who we got? Chime in the comments. Let's see who's here. Johnny Diggins gonna save my money for HO scale Union Pacific Big Boy with DCC sound. Cool. Which one? I know there's a couple that they've made. Buddy of mine's got one that's the excursion version, and it's cool because it has like the PTC thing on top of the tender. Carson here from Germany. What's up, buddy? Cloverdale, greetings from Hoth, or as we like to call it, Ohio. Yeah, shoot, the cold snap has really hit everywhere but here, it seems like. I mean, we got really cold a couple weeks ago, but no snow either. So doesn't qualify for Hoth if there's no snow, if you ask me. Pilot drummer, he's overnighted in Detroit, so he understands your Hoth situation there. Whitmore's in here. Really like these during lunch. Thanks. Yeah, it's I don't like stepping on toes for live stream stuff, and it seems like everyone and their mom has a live stream these days. O-Gauge is already a pretty not small audience, but there's only so much you can watch and only so many things you can log in for and chime in on until you start tripping over each other. There's only 7 days in a week, and there's definitely more than 7 live streams out there. So when we started doing the lunchtime ones, part of the reason I did that, A, I have the time because I have this time off from work, and B, nobody else does a live stream at lunchtime. So glad you're enjoying that. What's going on? Hello, Southern California. I guess it's closer to breakfast time for you guys than it is for lunchtime right now. I think it's what, like 9:30 there. Bob's in here. What's up? Chooch, good afternoon. Newt's in here. Hey, buddy. B&O's in there. I'm doing good. Thanks, pal. Trainmaster Challenger. I was just talking with him a minute ago about these. We're gonna figure out these passenger cars. A little bit trickier to get him those than I was anticipating, but we'll figure something out. Tim's in here. What's up, buddy? First time on the live chat. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Dadified. First time on the live chat or just new in general to the channel? Either way, would love to know. Let's see. Yes, Karsten has ordered 4014, the big boy Lion Master out of the 2026 catalog. Excited for you, buddy. And you guys will have to remind me if I forget. I emailed Lionel's engineering department with some more questions on some details on the other engines that are being released. So yeah, I need to share that with you guys. I have the email in here. What's up, TK Wayne from Illinois? Very nice. Art's watching while working. Everybody's working for the weekend, buddy. All right. Oh, and Trainmaster Challenger has a job. Wonderful. So do I. I'm off on Tuesdays, so it's nice. Denise is in here. Oh, and no, I don't need to do a Windows backup right now. Stop blocking the chat, you silly old computer, you. Out of the icebox, I want to let you know how my HO layout is 46.5 feet side to side, and length is 118 long. O scale is a 6x8. Very cool. Yeah, I've seen the stuff that you've sent me on that stuff before. Let's see. Oh, cool. Eric's first time on the live chat. Great. S. Williams is in here. Thanks for the O-Scale Pennsylvania Railroad Express reefer a few months back. Yay! I'm glad that found a good home. I can't send you the site, Denise. You're on it. You're on YouTube. I don't really have like a website. I'm on Facebook as well. That's where you'd sent them to me before. Just look up The Secondhand Overland. I gotta show you guys these. These are fun. On Facebook, and just send a message to that. Yeah, I guess I don't really have like a website for Dadified, like www.dadified.com /GeoCities. No, dude, I think it was GeoCities came up first, and then it was like geocities.com/your website name. I forget. That was like middle school for me when we were like making our own websites on GeoCities. That was fun. Um, CSX trains in here. Hello. Eric said, watched you for a while and got some good tips. Oh, good. Yay. I'm always afraid that like the stuff that there's always somebody that's going to have like a better way of doing something, especially when it comes to like tutorials and such. Like I felt super bad. My buddy, B&O Scale Model Railroading, he went off of the guide that I made for adding cruise to his K4. I had done it 3 times on K-line locomotives, and everything was fine. But there was always one green wire that went unused. I didn't know what it was for, and the instructions I'd used told me to leave it out every time I was doing an install. And so I left that detail completely out in the tutorial. And then he did the upgrade to his Lionel K4. I didn't have cruise, and the cruise worked fine, but he had no sound. And I was like, all these issues, all this stuff, whatever. I've never done one on a Lionel. Apparently there's something different. And finally we figured it out that that green wire provides sound, or rather syncs up the sound for like chuffs and stuff like that. So I'm glad he figured that out, but I felt really bad that I didn't know that detail, and so I didn't have that detail in my tutorial. Let's see. Hello from Virginia. Wes Browning's in here. This I really enjoy your channel. Great information. Maybe not. Hopefully it's not gray information where it's like a little fuzzy on that detail. Where did you get your mountain backdrop? That's a great question, and one that I think my buddy Sean's Depot is going to answer soon, because I don't know. My dad got this for me for Christmas like 3 years ago. Maybe 2 years ago, I think. I forgot to ask where he got it from. I would like to know, because I would like to extend onto it. But my buddy Sean with Sean's Depot, his is mostly like, Pennsylvania Railroad themed and such, and just, the East Coast. And apparently the shop that had backdrops, the only mountain scene that they had was this, which is Mount St. Helens in the Pacific Northwest post-explosion. Now, for me, running Union Pacific, at least Pacific Northwest is an area where like Greyhound Challengers and the Oregon Short Line ran up there, and Southern Pacific, the Daylight is up there in Oregon, and so it makes sense-ish on my line. And I'm like, cool. It's a great backdrop, but it is definitely not Pennsylvania. Way too jagged. The mountains and hills and such that are out there are nice and rolling and smooth. More your kind of they're definitely older mountains, and I kind of teased him a little bit about that. But I'm looking forward to seeing his video on that, because I also want to know where he got it from. Because I keep forgetting to ask my dad where he got this one from. They've got to be the same, maybe the same supplier, maybe not the same shop. My dad definitely did not shop, local to this store if Sean's found it as well. Bill's in here. What's up? Let's see. GeoCities, yep. Trainmaster Challenger says, I am going to the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, PA. Cool. I don't know what all that entails, but sounds great. And American. Let's see. Stupid green wire. Yep. Oh, yeah. And thanks to Sid. Yep. So I always defer to Sid or Optimus or Adam Swindell. There's a bunch of guys that know like tech stuff on Lionel trains, and I defer to them whenever I get stumped. And turns out everyone else does too, because like, oh, Mike couldn't answer my question, so I have to ask Sid. Like, dang it, I need to get better at this. Sorry, guys. Mike, how are you doing this morning in Omaha? Well, for the next, I guess it is still morning in Omaha. At least for the next 20 minutes. Good. It's good to be back. I was really looking forward to doing the live stream from the comfort of Big Blue, our nice sectional couch here. Last week was definitely a little bit more somber. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support last week. If you jumped on, or even if you left a comment after the fact. It's so funny. I realize, like, I'm looking at my watch, and like, it's 11:30. We're kind of in like, I've already like cleared all the snow, and I'm waiting for some other things to happen. I've kind of got some downtime. I wonder if I can toss together a little live stream from the driveway of my recently deceased uncle. So I logged on and got that stuff going, and then I realized, like, Mike, there's not many people on here, not because you didn't announce it, but because normally your lunchtime live stream on a Tuesday is at 12:30 Eastern. Oh, I'm in Eastern time zone, so my 11:30 on my watch doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I guess I've been doing the lunchtime live streams long enough for me to like this is like part of my routine now, and it felt weird not being here doing it. And I'm glad to be back here with you guys. So thank you for the support last week. It was only like a 15-minute stream, but even the handful of folks that managed to come in and make my day. So thank you. That really meant a lot. That was a tough trip. Rick Fuchs, what's up, Dadified? Hey, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Here's trouble. Newt has like a short list of troublemakers that, like, whenever they show up, like Newt and Ray is the rivalry that I look forward to, because it's a friendly rivalry that Newt is definitely winning. Got it from Train Junkies. Oh no, that's Art. Art's in here. That's right. Art is working. So like, I want to keep this backdrop, but I think in order to like line things up and have like the same print and all that stuff, you've kind of got to stay with whoever you got it from, because I'm sure matching stuff is not their forte between like other backdrops. Maybe I'm wrong, but it would be nice if I could get from this point here, that's just outside the frame, to the edge of my little mountain dealie over by the elevated line. And then these blues for the skies really don't match. It would be nice to have that be a little more coherent, but whatever. It doesn't help that I've got a gigantic window in the way that's taking up room. Let's see. Any plans to go to California State Railroad Museum with the cab forward? Yes. I mean, not urgent plans, but would definitely like to. Like, so I don't want to go halfway across the U.S. just to go to a museum. There needs to be like other stuff going on. So like if we're in California doing a family vacation, that can be part of it. If I'm there for like a conference for work or something like that, that maybe could be part of it. I'm not going to go just for a museum because traveling is expensive and it's difficult for me to take time off from work, which is odd because I have this Tuesday off. No, I work 4 days a week, but the 4 days that I work are like all day. And so when I take days off from work, I take not just a day off, but like a big chunk of time out. And I'm the only one at my job that does that. The only one at work that does my job. So when I get back from even just a couple days, or even last week, like when I was only gone for 4 days, Monday through Thursday, I have had and still have a mountain to climb in terms of catching up and getting stuff set. There's just never enough time in the day. So when I take a week off from work, or even a couple days, it's a pain in the butt to kind of get going again. Let's see. My favorite steam engine in the collection, DCS Skater is asking. I just worked on Challenger over here, and I did the same repair to him that I did on my favorite, which also gave me a ton of problems before, but he's sitting on the shelf back here, and it's Big Boy 4023. The engine's my favorite, not just because 4023 is here in Omaha, not just because I made it to look like 4023, which in hindsight I do feel slightly silly now, because I never imagined that Lionel would go through the trouble of making a Lion Master Big Boy with the correct pilot, without the little radiator deals on the sides. So not only did I didn't think they would make 4023, and they still haven't, so I made my own. The They're not going to make Lion Master Legacy anymore, so I do like that this one's Legacy. I like the sounds on it a tiny bit more, although I do really like the whistles on the new ones. The Vision Line Big Boy whistle sounds fantastic in my Lion Chief Plus 2.0 4014. But also, this engine, if you've been with me for a while, this engine was our first Legacy engine, first Lion Master, first articulated anything. I think it was like the third or fourth engine we ever got for the Railroad. And it was Big Boy, the Lion Master Legacy version of 4006. And 4006 is cool because it's in St. Louis, so it's not too far from us. Had nice sounds, good whistle. Actually uses the same whistle as the Legacy 844, so it sounds really nice. And we were always kind of pretending that it was 4014, even though it wasn't, because we had it pulling excursions and all that stuff. But when we got 4014, I never imagined we would find one, and I never imagined they'd make them again so soon. Honestly, if we hadn't have found this Lion Master 4014, I would probably have my order in on the excursion version right now. But since we've already got one, there's not a point really. It is cool that it's got like the gloss finish, and it's got the oil tender, and it's got, you know, the updated pilot and all that stuff. But this one's fine. I know Art's doing that, so and a bunch of folks are getting the Lion Masters, and I will circle back to that. But yeah, 4023 is my favorite for many reasons. And also, that engine's kind of been through the ringer. I got that engine partially disassembled. So I was really proud that I was able to get it running and reassembled and put back together and on the rails. And then we had some issues with it. I kind of learned how to repair a lot of stuff by working on that engine. So for a while, I kind of had a love-hate relationship because every time I'd fix one thing, something else would go wrong, especially the wires to the wireless tether. Does that not sound ironic or counterproductive at all? The wires leading to the wireless tether were going bad, and so rewiring those was a pain in the butt. But I got it done, and hopefully I shouldn't have to do it for another 10 years. But yeah, so I've been through a lot with that engine, and I've learned a lot from that engine, but it's still my favorite to run because there's many things riding on the rails on that. Like, yes, it's 4023. Yes, I worked on it for a while. Yes, it represents a lot of stuff for me. So there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of baggage that engine has that makes it my favorite. News says we have to find the MTH jail and kit bash it to a Garytown jail. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Am I going to Spring York? Yes, I am. Just did the registration for York yesterday. Got the room and everything. Put in the request for time off from work. Yes, I'm going to Spring York. So that should be fun. Got to get some Woodside Reefers. Yes, you do. Everybody needs Woodside Reefers. These things are freaking fantastic. But I've been doing a little bit of work to this guy. For those with a keen eye, you'll notice that this Woodside Reefer is the MTH Rail King version. It doesn't have any underbody detail. This one's bent for some reason, like it bows in the middle. But anyway, I have been adding, you might be able to see in the video. Let me look down here and see if you guys can see it. But I've actually been painting in the details on the doors, if you can kind of see that. And so, not only that, but this one's 6118, and then there's 6113, and 6143, I think. I've been renumbering all of them because they only made the one, but I wanted more Woodside Railway Express Agency reefers. And these are the same size as these super fancy, super expensive Atlas reefers, and K-Line reefers, and MTH reefers. And everybody that's made the 40-foot reefer, these are scale size. They're just not scale detailed, so they don't have like the walkways you can see through, and the doors don't open, but they do have all the nice molded in details for the doors. The ladders are not separately applied, obviously, and such, but it's a dark enough color where you kind of miss that anyways. And I've been working on making these guys look more detailed because I'm tired of seeing yellow and orange and gray reefers. The green breaks it up really nicely, so been having fun with those guys. Let me know if you guys have done similar things to kind of add detail to either something that's scale that lacks a little bit of detail, like a standard O car maybe, or in my case, semi-scale reefer car that is scale size, adding detail to it to make it fit in better with the scale cars that I have. I should try and find this brown color that they use for the roofs and just repaint all the roofs of those. That would be really cool. I'd like to do that. Yeah, way behind on comics. What's up, Big Rich? Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining everybody. How do you remove the number when I renumbered 4023? Great question, Tim. If you're married, your wife might have nail polish remover. And that's a really good friend to have when you've got... And that's how I did this little guy. This was a granite quarry little dockside switcher. And now it's just an anonymous number 6, which is fine because he's just a switcher. He doesn't need to, be road name specific in my books. But it used to say Granite Quarry on here and on the very back. And I just took a little Q-tip with some makeup remover and just very kind of quickly erased it essentially from there. Now, if you erase it too much, you end up taking some of the finish and eventually some of the paint with it. So you've got to be quick with that. But that's how I removed it to make 4023 to renumber everything. The number boards on 4023 are brass, but they're still in the same paint as everything else. So those held up fine when I took the 4006 numbers off those and I put on the decals. I went to Circus City Decal, something like that, some kind of circus, and got the big boy number set. 4,000 through 4024. The numbers are all there. And so I used those. I cut out the little numbers for water slide decals, put some decal setter on there once the old numbers were erased, and I put on 4023 and made my own. I went a step further because this is a legacy version, an older legacy engine that has Rail Sounds 5. Rail Sounds 5 for the win! I found a soundboard for the JLC Big Boy 4023, swapped it out for the 4006 in there, so now this guy says his number. 4023 here. I got my consist ready. Oh, can we go? Negative 4023. Please hold your position. Over. Copy that. I see that block signal. 4023. Standing by. Yes! Love that. It's the extra stuff that makes it special. Like when I went through the trouble to make the pilots, which Lionel now has done for you. That was a pain in the butt to do to mine. I wish I had waited just a little longer now. Because, man, if you make it yourself, cool. But if it's factory fresh and it looks like they used the same freaking parts that I did. I pulled parts off of a scale pilot. I found the part number. It's somewhere in here. It took me forever to find that. But I found just the front pilot of a scale JLC or Legacy Big Boy that didn't have the big radiators. It just had the handles up there and it had the little the air pack in front. And so I had to bend out and lift up and wiggle loose the handrails from a scale pilot deck, and then I had to drill holes and put them in the pilot deck for this. It was a pain in the butt. I am so happy with the finished product. But yeah, now Lionel's like, oh, cute, we can do that. Beep, boop, boop, and it'll be on your doorstep in late summer, early fall. Ugh. I didn't have to go through all of that. I could have just ordered the part. Let's see. I'm going to save my money for the big boy. Yes, I read that before, Johnny, but glad you're... Which one are you getting? Like, which manufacturer HO big boy are you getting? Hey, Matt, thanks for joining us. Cloverdale says, yay. I don't know why you said yay, but yay, there's something worth celebrating in here. Dry brushing the truck's wood grain and hinges really brings out the details on any car type. Harder skill to learn if the weather ones... If it's the weather... Okay, I think I know it. Oh, it's gold standard, so he's the king of adding detail, like the wood decking. That's exactly what he's talking about. I keep saying I'm going to add them to mine, and I still haven't. I mean, I've been adding detail to the other stuff. I might as well, right? Buenos dias, Sleeves Rail. What's up, buddy? But yeah, we got a little bit of a... Let me just refresh this and make sure. I actually feel like I'm caught up with chat, which might mean that the video stopped. Nope. I'm just like paranoid now because we've had like 3 live streams where the video has failed on me. What's up, Don? Don's in here, my train room. He's gonna help me out later this week with some scenery stuff. So gonna start like phase 1 of looking at redoing scenery. If you haven't seen the video that I made of his layout last Friday, check it out because he's the man when it comes to scenery. At least locally for me. Like, I know there's a bunch of people that do scenery. I know there's a bunch of cool tutorials online, but there's just something about working with somebody in person and actually having the materials in your hands that if that's how you're gonna that's how I'm gonna learn. That's how I want to figure this stuff out. Like, I could watch a video and screw it up on my own by myself, but if Don's there to berate me in person, it's gonna go a lot quicker. I don't know. That's what I'm planning to do, at least. Very new to the hobby here. I loved trains as a kid. Now I'm 15 years later getting back into it solely because I stumbled on the Menards trains and it looks so fun. That's because it is. Was it O-Gauge that you did before? Was it 3-rail trains you had before? Regardless of what trains you're into now, it's model trains, regardless of the scale, it's a good time. Yeah, I've made a bunch of getting started stuff, so if it's helpful for you, check out the videos that I've made. I think there's a whole like getting started playlist that I made. I've renamed it like 3 times now. But that should kind of get your wheels going on some of that stuff. But the biggest question that I see from folks that are getting started is like, what locomotive should I get? And that's a really broad, really objective question. Like, what railroads do you like? What kind? Like, are you just trying to find a good engine? Because there's a lot of good engines, but like steam or diesel or modern stuff. Do you want something that's a little bit more kid-friendly? Lion Chief might be a better route. Legacy, Vision Line is kind of over the top to start off with. So yeah, if you need some help getting started, would love to help. We all would. Go straight to Vision Line and 072. Tom, you just went like backwards from what I said. Okay, so when I got started, to be honest, I almost didn't go forward with O-Gauge. Because everybody online was like, you need 072, you need 072, you need 072. And I couldn't fit 072 down here. At least not like a full oval. I could have, if I had moved this couch up against the wall and moved it closer to the TV, I could have done like a circle and like maybe 2 little straights of 072 in that back corner, and that would have been dumb. So I just didn't really have the space down here to do 072. And that would have been a limiting enough factor to be like, well, if everyone says I need 072, then I'm not going to do O-Gauge. And I'm not saying, oh man, what would the hobby do without me if I hadn't have gotten started? I'm not saying that. I'm saying, think of all the people that have dismissed O-Gauge because everybody said, you got to have 072 or there's no point. Think about how many people we would exclude from the hobby, how many folks would turn away and do something else. They'd probably still do model railroading, but they'd go to HO or N or definitely not G. If they can't fit 072, they can't fit G scale in their home. Or maybe they go outside with it, right? But think of all the people that we potentially turn away from the hobby by, oh, it's 072 or it's nothing. And I'm not like bashing what Tom said at all. And I know where he's coming from because the stuff that he collects, he needs 072. If that's the kind of stuff that you need, then yeah, you kind of do need it. But I thought I needed 072 until I learned about Lion Master. And then when I got Lion Master stuff, then we could run whatever curves I wanted, and there's still plenty of other engines that can run on smaller curves. Honestly, to me, the most versatile curve that's the most forgiving in O-Gauge is 048. Because I have engines that are rated for 060 that can make their way around 048. Now, they can't make their way around like 048 switches, but they can make their way around 048 turns. The challenge, the 844 that I have, the Santa Fe Northerns, or in my case, the Frisco. There's a bunch of big stuff that can make their way around 048. So I really hope that, like, whether they're on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube for the first time, that we're not sending the message of, if you don't have 072, space, then don't bother. Because here I am, practically 3 years into this, still enjoying the heck out of it. Would I be taking a risk buying an old TMCC L2 Mohawk? I don't know the Mohawk specifically, but TMCC stuff is pretty bulletproof. Plus, if anything goes wrong, it's weird. Like, there's parts out there for TMCC stuff, for electronics. And then there's this weird point in time where, like, you just can't find any replacement parts for legacy engines. And now modern legacy engines, you can find replacement parts for because they have to, because warranty. So early legacy and TMCC stuff, you can still find boards for. But honestly, I haven't had issues with ours. The most issues that I've had have been with legacy engines, and especially newer legacy engines. It seems like 2015 onwards, just, I don't know how many corners have been cut between now and the last decade, really. So yeah, your TMCC stuff is pretty resilient. And when it goes wrong, you can find an R2LC board. You can find soundboards. You can find stuff for them. So I say go for it, but I would research specifically, because, like, if I said, hey, go out and buy an old TMCC Mogul, no, those had bad gearboxes, don't do it. Although half the reason you can't even really find TMCC Moguls because most of them were Gandhi. The best starter set is Menard's Dino Train. Oops, I did just reset the whole stream. No, there we go. Whew. I'd rather have tighter curves than go to a smaller scale, Chooch says. Yeah. Yeah, the Dino Treatment is... Dino Train is a lot of fun. That's a fun set. What else did I miss? Lark's in here, too. He must be further up, but hey, buddy. I hate the message that Fast Track is useless. Yeah, B&O, I see that a lot. Actually, Tom's a great person to show that Fast Track can really look great if you put a little bit of work into it. The weathering weathering master, gold standard for a reason. Getting the regular initial Legacy Mohawk for basically the same price does not have whistle steam. I think I might have missed something before, but yeah, early Legacy stuff is getting really affordable now. Affordable with gigantic quotes around it. O-Gauge is expensive, folks. But yeah, I got a Legacy GP7 diesel with road number specific dialogue and all that stuff for cheaper than I could find a Lion Chief version of it. So better sounds, crew dialogue, all that stuff, all the lighting and everything, electro couplers, legacy control, runs super smooth. It's a fantastic find. So yeah, early Legacy stuff is getting more on the affordable end of things. Menard's O-Gauge track is as good as old Lionel tubular tracks. I actually have to disagree a little bit. I've had some connection issues with the pins on my Menard's track. When we went up to visit the real 4023 and we brought that track up there with us with our model 4023 and ran it around, we were having track issues, and I had literally just bought those from the store and clicked them together. We went from Menards to the hillside with that track. And I eventually kind of crimped the lines together a little bit better, but I see more just construction issues with Menards tubular than I do with like your traditional Lionel stuff. A little bit of work can go a long ways with the Menards track, though. I want to say most of the track that my buddy Don has, that he has as tubular, is Menard's track. But that guy has weathered the track and everything's set. I think if you're just clicking them together, they're more finicky. Fast Track, if you're just clicking stuff together on a carpet, is going to hold up better than tubular stuff, it seems like. Tubular stuff nailed down resolves a lot of your issues. The proper message to new people is build as big as possible. Try for 072. That way you can run anything. Tom, Mad, and Tattooed Mike make Fast Track look great. Yes, Bill, absolutely. Oh, and Lark came in again. What's up, buddy? Thanks for joining me. Fast Fast track with conventional engines so far. Rail Chief next or Legacy Base 3? Do you think Rail Chief, are you talking about the YouTube guy, my buddy Mike? Are you talking about Rail King? Or Legacy Base 3? Yeah, we've loved using the Base 3. Although I haven't loved getting like the internet part of it to work. I got it kind of sort of working, and then it stopped. I got some more troubleshooting to do with this thing, because hooking it up to your home's Wi-Fi, once you've got it working right, I'm sure it's great, but right now it's just been a big headache. But working with these guys, working with the Cab 2 remote, just fine. It's actually cheaper to go out and buy a brand new or even used Cab 1L and a Base 3 than it is to buy a Base 2 and Cab 2. And you can do more with this once you get the internet working. Lion Chief. Oh, okay. Yeah, Lion Chief stuff's great too. We've had really great experiences with that. Badass is in here. What's up, buddy? Thanks for joining us. DCS Skater says, my layout is 5x7 with 3 loops of track. 4-piece straight for each loop. The curves are 054, nice, 042, and 031. I have Menards, no issues, except I don't have connection clips for all of them. That's all right. Fast Track has its pros and cons, but I would want Atlas Track next. Yeah, and honestly, when I was helping out in my local club, I had a lot of... The layout we were working on there was Gargraves, and I really enjoyed working with that. Even the flex track sections that I thought would be really finicky, it's just really nice, and it's quieter than this stuff, and it looks a little nicer sometimes. Someday, when I do a layout redo, which may happen if Big Blue gets too worn out, if we need to get a different couch, I may have to build a different layout. But we'll probably be facing the same space restraints, but that's fine. I have no regrets with going with 048 here. It's been a lot of fun. I should probably open that email, since we're like half an hour in, to tell you guys what I learned from Lionel's engineering department about the Lion Master Big Boys. All right. Let's see. Talk to us. So this is nice. They actually put my questions and then like in the email and then the engineering's answer to them. Now, engineering's answers weren't the most thorough, but when you ask a customer service rep for an answer, they give you a nice paragraph. When you ask an engineering guy, they just say, trains, power, legacy control. It's like single sentence stuff, you know? So that's essentially what these answers are, but that's fine. We can extrapolate on that. I think I used that word right. I asked, on the Polar Express version that's offered, will this feature standard sounds like the other big boys that are in the catalog? Or will it have like Christmas or Polar Express sounds included? And their answer is Polar Dialogue. So that tells me it's probably still got the big boy whistle, but the dialogue is going to be, all aboard! This is the Polar Express! The first gift of Christmas! I am king of the North Pole! I think that's all the lines. Actually, I think I'm missing one in there. Tickets! Tickets, please! There, I think that's all my Lion Chief lines that I know from our Lion Chief Polar Express starter set. So those sounds like they're in the Polar Express Big Boy. Cool. Speaking of that, I would like to know, I asked them this, I would like to know the paint finish types being used on all 5 of the Big Boys. I believe it was noted that 4014 would be a gloss finish to look like the Excursion version, but I'm curious about the other models if they'll be traditional matte finish like previous releases. Oh, let me see. I jump back to questions if you guys have any questions on the other stuff. Let's see. Did I just get possessed by a Lion Chief remote? Apparently. Very good interpretation of Tom Hanks. Ho ho. Tom Hanks needs to look out for his job. It's funny. No, Tom's fine. Okay. Cool. Glossy fights? Maybe you said finish. But yeah, so let's see. So the 4014 excursion version, according to art, still has a gloss finish to it, and everything else I assumed would be matte. But this says 4014 and Polar are gloss. All others are standard. So that means that the Polar Express version with the blue and everything is going to be a gloss finish. And on the one hand, it's like, oh man, that's going to look really cool for a Christmas engine. On the other hand, it's got snow painted onto like all the spots and everything, and shiny snow might look a little weird. But I guess it's shiny-ish snow that's sitting on top of all the Madison passenger cars that they sell with the Polar Express starter sets. And I still haven't decided. Maybe you guys can help me. And according to Tom, I already have decided on whether I'm going with the 49er Big Boy or the Polar Express Big Boy. If I decide to go with the Polar Express Big Boy, my mission at York in spring is going to be to find as many cheap starter set Polar Express snow-covered Madison cars as I possibly can. Because you can bet your whatever you want, you can bet that Big Boy Polar Express pulling 3 or 4 starter set cars is going to look lame. Gonna need to get some more cars behind that thing. So yeah, that'd be cool. I assume those would be easy to find at like York or whatever. That'd probably be the cheapest place. Polar Express fetches a high dollar on eBay. It's dumb. Holy crap. Let me jump back to comments and see if I missed anything. Glad they're having Polar Sound since I'm ordering one. Yes, Rick, I noticed there were a bunch of folks that were saying they're getting the Polar Express one, so I'm glad to report this to you guys. The cars aren't gloss. Well, the scale cars aren't gloss. I guess the starter set ones are kind of both, because like the red stripe on them is kind of a glossy finish, and the roofs are kind of shiny, but like the blue itself kind of isn't. It's just like the injection molded blue color that they have. But the scale Polar Express cars are not gloss. When you go to York, can you just buy the tickets there when you walk up? Yes, Rich, you can literally just go to the Blue Hall and say, hey, Dadified said I could get tickets here on site. And they'll be like, who the heck is Dadified? Sounds like a hack. But yeah, you can get them there. Bet your Bippy. I don't know what that means, but Bippy sounds like Blippy, and now I'm having like flashbacks from when my son was 2. LCCA had a giant box of Polar Express cars at York. Sweet. Thanks, Newt. And thanks for letting everybody else in the chat know, because they'll probably get there before I do. All right, and on to more questions. The excursion version, I asked this to engineering, excursion version of 4014 has been offered with an oil burning tender. Do any of the other versions offered have this same tender, or are they featured with a coal load? And their answer is all others are coal tenders, only 4014 is oil. So that answers that. A lot of the shots were just a side profile picture, and it's hard to tell if there's coal or not, or if it's an oil tender or whatever. Would have been cool if the Greyhound version of the Big Boy that they made, they used like an oil burning tender for it, because the Greyhound Challengers that operate in the Pacific Northwest were all oil burners, which is also something I've been meaning to fix on my Lion Master, but I digress. But yeah, so only 4014 is going to get that new tender. It's the same tender design as this Challenger. It just has a little oil stuff on the top instead of coal. And then the last... Oh, let me see if there's any other questions on that one. Bippy is from the TV show Laugh-In back in the late 60s. All right. Can't say I was around for that one. Sock it to me. Okay. And the other question then, the last question I asked. and this one was mostly for me. The 4024 big boy offered in the 49er paint scheme appears to have an illustration that suggests the aftercooler details are like that of... Wait, I think I meant to say 4014. Is this accurate to what will be produced? Yes, this will have the aftercooler details. So 4024 is going to have just the regular railings with the aftercooler up front, as opposed to the ones on the side. Because I noticed that in the picture that 4024 didn't have those. And 4024 shouldn't ever have had aftercooler up on the railings because it's one of the later big boys, the last big boy, really. So yeah, so that was nice to get those answers. And very timely answers, I should add, because I asked them at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and they sent their email, this morning? 3 hours ago. Cool. So very quick turnaround for those. I'm grateful they were able to disclose those details and such. Hopefully that makes your guys' decision easier if you're looking at getting one of the Lion Master big boys. I do really like that both types of the pilot have been completely redone. So like there's even brass for all the aftercoolers that are up on the pilot. I'm really happy that they went through and did that. So they're going to look great on all of them. Soldier Farm said, I can't chat, got a class coming, wanted to smash the like. Oh, thanks, bud. Appreciate it. How many folks we got in here? I wonder if it... Oh, I actually think it just tells me on my phone. Hang on. Wow, 37 of you. And 28 likes. Wow. Thank you, guys. That's amazing. I spent most of the morning, well, more of the morning than I would have liked, fixing the smoke unit on 3985 back here. And when I say fixing, I mean, most of the time if a smoke unit isn't working, it's actually the batting inside has probably gotten a little scorched earth kind of looking, and as a result, when you put smoke fluid in on top of that, it doesn't really sink in and doesn't really expand. It just kind of burns. So yeah, I went through and I literally just flipped the batting over, and then I kind of spruced it up and kind of pulled it apart a little bit more to make it a little bit more lively. So the burnt section is on the bottom now, and the not so burnt section is on top, and it works great now. So yeah, that was fun. That's how I fixed the smoke unit on 4023. I said a lot of stuff that I figured out on fixing that engine I have applied to other engines. It's kind of sad that my favorite engine is also my test bed. I probably should find another engine to test things out on, so that way I don't ruin my favorite engine. CCMF made it. What's up? Thanks, buddy. Aiden's in here too. What's up? No, you're not late. You're just on time. I guess now's a good time to talk about, you see the hat? I'm not Mrs. Nesbitt, but so I had patches made. Some of you in the chat actually have this first run of patches. I just mailed out to some of my friends. A, just to say thanks for supporting the channel, and B, because some of them had like been waiting on stickers for me from like October. So sorry guys. So I gave them some patches, but then I realized that the patches, they say the secondhand overland, but the little bottom section doesn't say route or route. So I'm gonna make another round of patches, but these turned out all right. And I had it sewn onto a hat for my big fat head. I really like these 3930 New Era hats. They fit my big old fat head perfectly. I don't really like snapback hats. One size fits all does not fit the Fred Flintstone head that I have. So, but I also had done up by the same company these guys, and this isn't a sticker. This is a, let's see if you guys can tell on there. This is a PVC kind of rubbery patch and it's got a little notch around the edge that you can sew into. So this is a sewable PVC rubber patch for secondhand overland. Gonna try and put that like on a backpack or something. And I made sure I had the right file. So this one does say the secondhand overland route. It does have the little extra wording down there. So these turned out really cool. So yeah, if you want one of these, or I do have a couple patches left and I got a bunch of stickers, I'll be bringing stuff with me to Spring York to give out. But if you're not able to go, or if you would just like one, message me, and if I've still got them, then I'm happy to mail them out to you guys. So just message me on the Secondhand Overland on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll get that stuff out to you guys. Tom, I noticed you don't have a Dadified sticker, so if you want one, let me know. I've seen your collection starting to grow. Flintstone. Oh, you're making fun of my Fred Flintstone head joke. Nice. And Toy Story. Cubicle Nate got in there. Oh, hi, Greg. Greg's in here, too. Yep, they got my Toy Story. Man, I'm making all sorts of movie references. Flintstones and Toy Story and Polar Express, obviously, with my Tom Hanks rant there earlier. The whole time I was gone last week, my son was running trains. And he did a great job. Except he wasn't quite careful enough with some of the things I noticed. There's a reason you should have more Lion Chief and more Rail King kind of stuff around littles. There's just more to go wrong on a scale engine. He's getting strong. He can pick up even the bigger scale engines and stuff and put them on the tracks and all that. But when you pick them up, where you pick them up from is important. And some handrails got bent and snapped, and I even noticed underneath the T1 duplex, like the rollers actually got like underneath the wheel. Or a little bit cockeyed. That could have been disastrous if he'd powered it on like that. I think it's just from when he put it back on the shelf on the wall. But yeah, he did a great job running trains and not being too rough with stuff. I honestly think his new favorite, 844 has edged out 4014. I never thought I would say that. But 844... maybe it's just the size of the drivers he really likes. But I literally I told him, hey, I don't want you taking 844 on and off the tracks, but I don't want to be running 844 all the time. So what if I just put him in the tunnel for you, so that way anytime you want, you can just unhook whatever train and hook up 844 and then put him back on the tracks. That way you don't have to keep moving him. And he was okay with that. But yeah, I've really noticed... he's asking less about, and that's another reason that's kind of pushing me towards getting 4024, because that's kind of the one that I want for the Lion Master Big Boy versus the Polar Express Big Boy, which would be really cool still, and that's the one my son still seems a little bit more excited about. But it's like, if he's leaning less towards big boys and more towards the 844, then why am I getting 3 big boys? Why don't I guess I am still getting 3 big boys. Dang it. I should just get the Hot Dog 844, right? Because those will run around here. Skip the Lion Masters, go scale. No, the Lion Masters are still really nice because they travel really easy too. There's less things to get snagged on in the blankets that we wrap these things up with when we take them to the train club and stuff like that. So yeah, it would be really cool to have a Lion Master Big Boy Polar Express hauling a ton of Polar Express cars. That'd be great. Don't you dare abandon the Polar Express Big Boy. Well, I digress then. I'm not allowed to veer off that. I was actually going through, I can't remember if it was a previous video. Oh no, I think it was even a comment. It was a comment I made on one of RBP Trains videos ages ago. That said, if they ever make a semi-scale Lion Master 49er scheme Challenger or Big Boy, I will buy it, because his Challenger, the Hot Dog, doesn't fit around our rails. But if they made a Challenger Lion Master in that, maybe I should hold off then. Maybe instead of trying to get the big boy hot dog. Maybe I should wait to see if they make a Lion Master LC2 Challenger run and they do a hot dog version of those. But then I would have 4 Challengers. I got 3985. We can't get rid of him because 3985 is famous. Got 3977. We can't get rid of that because it's famous too, and we've seen it, and it's one of only... Those are the 2 challengers that remain. We have 3976 as well, and I'm contemplating finding that one a new home just because we don't run it as much anymore. My son likes the whistle steam more on 3977, and I noticed just in general he's a little more excited to see that one because I think he knows, like, this is the one that we saw. Like, there's that connection for him. He doesn't have to tell me. I just noticed that he's more interested in 3977 versus 3976. They're both Greyhound Challengers. They both have the smoke shields on them because we added them to 3976. We added a LED headlamp to 3976 as well, so it looks a little nicer. But now I need 3967? I don't know. Hi, Will. What's up, buddy? It's Lion Master Mike. Get them both. $2,000 worth of... Regardless of cost, where do I put these things? I am running out of space again. That's part of the reason I'm thinking of selling 3976 is because it's a big engine. It takes up a lot of space. I'm still trying to convince myself not to buy the new 4014 on a credit card. Well, you don't have to put it on a card if wherever you get it from doesn't like take your payment that day. Like you just reserve it that day. And then just save up between now and the end of spring. And that way, if it is on the card, you can just pay it off quick. Gold Standard or Xmas or at wait, what did I miss? Newt says, if you don't get them both, you'll lose the title of Lord Lion Master. I did not know that I held that title. That's cool though. No space for Will either. Cubicle Nate says, I was pulling 14 cars behind Pierre Marquette, 1225. I didn't seem to have a problem, but the knuckle couplers would let go on some of the cars. What is the limit? Knuckle couplers limits are harder to find than like the limits of the engine. Sometimes it's just a weak spring. I went on Amazon and found these little tiny black rubber bands, and I use those to put around fussy couplers, so that way there is still some give, so that way they can still open, but they're much tighter. Because repairing couplers, especially on like semi-scale stuff, repairing couplers is basically impossible. So adding that black rubber band to the outside of the coupler can really help. Keeps them closed up more. You're not going to find... I've never broken a coupler from there being too many cars. We've done a tail chaser on here many times. And the couplers don't break. They just let go. And that's usually our stress test. Can you put a price tag on joy? No, but I can put a price tag on divorce. Cubicle Nate. I already read that one. Wait, B&O says, if there's one guy to feel comfortable buying from it's Mike. I'm beyond happy with what I've got from him. Oh, you talking about the Allegheny? The engine that was almost a Lion Master but wasn't. Yeah, B&O's got that one from us. I'm glad it's still running great. The only thing I regret is not being able to fix the like the smoke unit. Like it smokes, but it just kind of simmers like a Sooth unit. It should have. I think there's a fan that's gone bad in there. I wish I had worked on that too, but. Me also have no more space, says Sleeves Rail. Space, excuses. It's a Lion Master Big Boy Hot Dog and Polar Express. This should be automatic. Thanks, Newt. I have so many things I'm not going to say. Yes, you should avoid a divorce. Yes, I will avoid that at all costs. Happy wife, happy life. Plus, the wife is half the reason that this layout is way more fun than a 072 loop crammed in the corner. Because she said, don't move the couch. So we didn't. We just built the layout around it. Way more fun. Pilot Drummer says, totally agree, Mike takes amazing care of his trains, and the ones I got from him are amazing. Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, he's got my Lion Master Hudson. I still need to find a way to get a Lion Master Hudson back in the roster without it being New York Central. Yep, still do. Maybe I should just get a Lionel Lions one and call it a day. Because they're nice engines. I just wasn't running the pacemaker because prototypical me always has to get out all the East Coast stuff whenever there's one East Coast engine on the line. Stupid. Ah, well. Did save me a boatload of space. All the Pennsylvania Railroad stuff. Although I still now have a bunch of Pennsylvania Railroad cars because I still have my Lion Master. Oh, Daphne. Mom's home. Yay, Mom's home for lunch. She loves you, she'll understand. Well, I guess I can ask her when she comes in here. If she hands me some paperwork and my face goes white, then you know things have not gone well. Get the Lionel Lions and make it a Wabash. That was the original plan, to get to do a blue train for my son. I was going to do the Wabash Cannonball. I was going to do the P1 Hudson, which I found out is actually a modified, I think it might be a Mikado. But so it was like a 8 wheels driven, and then they increased the size of the drivers and just did 6 wheels instead, since it was passenger service. But yeah, the Wabash Cannonball would have been cool to do a custom with, based off of the Lion Master Hudson. Get the Lionel line. Oh, I already saw that. Oh, sleeves are taken off. Thanks, buddy. Oh, man, and we've crossed the hour mark, too. Shoot. Hi. She's back for lunch. Yay. I ate the pasta and meatballs for lunch.
Are you live still?
Yep. Oh. Still alive. They all think that I should get 2 big boys, and I told them that I don't want to get 2 big boys because I don't want to also get a divorce.
If one's free, fine, but...
Wait, so I can get...
If you can get it for free.
All right, I hope it stuck to... You guys, we just need to make a GoFundMe. She doesn't care about how many trains there are. She cares about how much they cost. She cares about the dinero. So we just need to do a GoFundMe to get 2 big boys, and no, we're good. I'll tell you what, just GoFundMe for 1 big boy. I'll cover the other one. But yeah. Tom already started the GoFundMe. Tom already started the GoFundMe for it.
No way.
Well, yes, because I already gave him $10 for saying that I was going to get the 49er one. The hot dog. They made the hot dog in a big boy. That's the biggest hot dog ever. You think that's dumb, don't you? Do you think the hot dog is... Do you like that paint scheme?
No opinion.
No, you don't like it?
I think it looks like a hot dog.
Accurate. She thinks it looks like a hot dog. Are you feeling better? Okay. It's fine. She's great, everybody. I love you. Am I embarrassing you now?
No.
Are you going to sit down here with me while I finish the live stream?
No.
Because we're over an hour.
You're over an hour.
Oh my gosh, someone already gave another $10 for the Lion Master Fund. Thanks, Dave. Oh, that's the guy, that's the pilot guy that Colin and I are buddies with? Yep. He's already he's already started the big boy fund. Great. Start buying lottery tickets? No, because then I'll have less money because I won't win the lottery because I already cashed in all of my luck because I have a great wife. I can't get any more luck, guys, so I can't win the lottery. She wants to give you smooches. Oh, corgi.
Has she made an appearance yet?
Oh my gosh, another one came through. Here. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, guys. I'll set up the fund and we'll put this in a CD and it'll increase in value. Hi, Daph. What? You want to be on the live stream? Do you? Come here. No, she went back to mom. She doesn't want to walk around the couch. You cutie. You're a cutie. No, she won't let you pick her up. She's a corgi. It's not going to work. Oh my gosh. Another one. Newt.
So now
Thank you.
$2,000 to go.
No, it's not $2,000 worth of big boy.
Sure.
Yes. Get them. Hey, if I'm supposed to get them both. No, kidding.
No comment.
Right, yeah, no. Where am I going to put them? I got to completely redesign the shelving units here. You guys realize we only have 65 feet of mainline track. I have enough trains to line the track at this point, I think.
The closet.
She said I can clean out the closet! Guys, it's on the tape. She said it. Oh my gosh. See, I told you I can't get any more lucky.
You can clean. Have a dream.
Maybe we should do live streams together more often. This is fun. Another one, Cubicle Nate.
They can't hear me though, can they?
Here's for keeping your marriage and getting a train. Wow. You guys are fantastic. I am in no way asking any of you to do this, but I am going through and liking all of these comments because this is incredible. I can't believe it. That's amazing. You guys rock. It's not even the money part of it. Just the fact that you guys are this like into what we're doing here. Thank you. And you got a Stephanie is awesome comment in here too.
Awesome. Did I spell my name right?
Nope.
Oh.
They don't know. Do you need me to tell them how to spell your name?
It's okay. I don't need
Okay. Yeah. Get this man to an Allegheny. Sorry, buddy. Well, I did have an Allegheny. B&O's got it now. But no, the scale Allegheny will not clear 048. And if it does, it's going to look really silly. It's going to be like, with the pilot hanging out and looking silly. Yeah, maybe we should start a GoFundMe for your Alleghenies. Actually, have you backpedaled on some of that stuff? I could have sworn I saw somewhere where like you went from wanting to get like 3 to like none at all. Oh man. Oh. This is nuts. You guys are going to make me blush. I am in no way telling you send me money so I can get trains. But you guys are doing it anyways. I have to do what the people ask, right? This is silly. I can't believe it. Okay, I have one on order. We'll wait to see them come in to get the other. Oh, so is it like a finish thing? Because yeah, that can be a make or break when it comes to what it looks like, which finish it's in. Did you email? Because I just emailed Lionel about the Lion Masters, and they gave me their nice, quick engineering responses. Did you email them to see what finishes or what on those? I thought you did. Oh, Austin's in here. He says Steph is great. Hi, Mike. Austin McCoy. When are you coming over again, buddy? We need to run trains. 39.85 here. 840. Colin's new favorite is 844. I'm pretty sure. Would you agree that Colin's new favorite is 844?
Yeah, I just run that a lot.
Because you were with him while I was gone last week, and that was like the one that was like permanently on the line. But yeah. Oh my gosh. Steamrail Willie. Wow. This is again, in no way, shape, or form did I ask for this. But the fact that you guys are doing it that's incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Steph is here. Steph's here on lunch break. Daphne's giving me this look like, why aren't you guys playing with me? Oh, her ears just perked up when I said play. Oh, you sweet thing. Yeah, we will. We went for a nice walk this morning. Oh, she did ears there again. Somebody step up and donate the other. No, it's all right. Well, Now, the other question then is, like, I think Charles Rowe has the best prices that I've seen on those. But my buddy at the Lionel store in North Carolina said that he'd take care of me. So it's like, if we do order them, where do we order them from? And then timing, too. If these things arrive around... I mean, shoot, just timing stinks in general. So just got to make sure that there's enough in the account for this stuff if we order them. Charles Rowe is awesome. You'll be out there next week. Nice. Brother James in the club for Allegheny. Wait, Brother James is in here? Did I miss him? What's up? It's comedy to see me blush, Newt says. Yeah, that's just there's just a filter on the screen. I have not actually blushed. It's a pigment of your imagination. What? Oh man, B&O. How many people is that now? This is nerds. Okay, before you guys make more poor financial decisions in supporting the secondhand overland, I need to wrap up this live stream because that's incredible. No. See, it's not me blushing. It's the on air sign. See, it's red, and so wrong way. It's red, and that's what's making me look red. I swear, that's got to be it. Plus, my voice is getting a little shot, so I probably should call it. And the wife looks like she's hungry, wants some lunch. So never mind, she's taking a nap. So we're good. She can sleep through my voice. I mean, I'm loud. You've made it this far. Coming up on 12 years. Oh, another one! Big Rich!
No, 11.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what? Oh, no, we did 11 last year. We're coming up on 12.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Now, see, guys, this is how you maintain marriages. It's not trains. It's not making them happy. It's being the one that doesn't forget the anniversary.
Yeah, you're right. 12.
She just did the math. You had to do math on your calculator to figure out how long we've been married?
I just couldn't remember.
That's adorable. Austin's in for it too. You know what, Austin? Yeah, let's get some Chinese and run some trains again soon, buddy. Good show today. Thanks. What kind of telephone stops as the money is coming in?
Keep going.
Okay, wife said keep going. It's not that I'm going to do things for money because that sounds really sketchy really quick. But yeah, for the next, I'll go till 1 then. We'll say we go till 1, and then I'll find something more productive to do. I probably need to take the Christmas lights down while it's still slightly warm out there. That'll probably be my project for the rest of the day until I need to go take Colin to Taekwondo. Tim's leaving. Thanks. We do all things. We all do things for money. Yes, it's true. We all do things for money. Like work. This is not work. This is me blabbing on the internet for the 80 millionth time. Stuff that I've got work on that I'm working on, besides the scenery stuff that we're going to tackle on Thursday. I do want to kind of tackle some more maintenance stuff, which is not nearly as interesting in general, but I was wondering, if you're going to have model trains, you need to know like basic repair stuff. And some people don't even know that much or aren't comfortable with that much, especially when you're working on engines this expensive. But I thought maybe doing some sort of tutorial on like, hey, here's like the top 5 things or the top 10 things that you need to know if you're going to have trains in terms of common repairs, common things that go wrong to look for, tools that are the most used things in my whole, toolbox of stuff. Trying to make like a how-to guide on like fixing smoke units and oil and stuff and tire changes, the traction tire changes, changing lighting, stuff like that. Because there's like, if you get a train, whether it's new or used, there's a chance that there might be something that's broken on it or that could use a little bit of TLC. And instead of having to return it or send it back or go to a repair shop, of which there are fewer of these days. Having the ability to be able to fix it yourself is getting not just more important as trains get more complicated, but also more financially saving, because these things are, again, they're expensive. So knowing how to repair stuff, even if you've owned the train new from day one, stuff can still just go wrong. Maintenance stuff. So I don't know. That was something I was thinking of doing a video on. Brian Explorer says, great video, first time being live. I have the same 4611 blue, the Missouri Pacific. Nice. Other day it went so fast off the curve. What a fast diesel. Yes. Just realized that today, actually. I was fixing the smoke unit on 3985, and the Missouri Pacific, the Mopac diesel was on here. And I needed him to get out of the way. So I just gave him a little bit of throttle. Gave him a little too much throttle, and he went, woo, like a freaking rocket. That was nuts. So yeah, lots of... Those TMCC engines can get away from you speed control wise. And then you sit there like trying to throttle it down and it doesn't respond at first. And you're like... And so you do it more, and then it basically just face plants and stops. I got 3 of my locomotives in repairs. 2 of them have kinematic coupler problems. I tried fixing them myself, no bueno, had to take them in. That's an issue that I saw with my buddy Art. He was having issues with kinematic couplers. I don't know if they were broken or if they were just having issues with his switches and such, but kind of another reason I'm okay with not having like modern diesels and stuff, because the diesels that we do have don't have kinematic couplers, and I don't think they do them on like these things. We ran Rock Island quite a bit last week. It's kind of fun. I know that these are supposed to run with passenger cars, but I don't need more passenger cars, so I just run them with freight. And like, that's less of an important thing, I think, for the Rock Island than it is for like if you have a daylight. You kind of have to get the daylight passenger cars for it. If you have a Rock Island, yeah, you can get the passenger cars for it, but I think that's an easier rule to break than it is with something iconic like the daylight. Or just get a big boy and run either freight when it's wartime and yellow passenger cars when it's excursion version. Old tooling SD40 T2s with the swinging pilots are my most reliable engines. Yep. The Missouri Pacific diesel actually had an issue the other day. I mean, shoot, it was cold and a little bit of static electricity on the carpet, and my son touched the engine. I heard a little zap, and I thought we'd fried it. I didn't think that was a thing, but it definitely wasn't working right after that. And I opened it up and inspected stuff and made sure plugs were plugged in and all that other stuff. Everything seemed fine, and put it back on the rails, and it's running great. So I don't know exactly what happened with that. Although, question then for Brian, when yours is going forward, do you have orange lights up front or green? Because mine are orange, and when I put it in reverse, the back ones turn green. And I'm like, is orange lights right? Or is there like a wire that's off somewhere and it's changing the color? It's changing the... Because some of those lights can like change color based on the amperage that's going to them. So Willie says I need a Rio Grande Heritage unit for those passenger cars. These passenger cars are kind of fantasy scheme anyways. So what I've been doing is running a fantasy version of Frontier Days, because they used to run between Denver and Cheyenne, with 844 doing passenger service for Frontier Days. And this is kind of like a fantasy version of that. So that's kind of why everything else in the collection is trying to be era specific, trying to be accurate, trying to be like stuff that would operate around this era. But when I saw those cars on sale at our local train shop, I couldn't say no because they just looked so cool in person. I would have never ordered them from Train Loft or anything like that. I would have never like been like, yeah, those are something that I need to have if I hadn't seen them in person at my local shop. And I did. And they're here. And they're fantastic. Debating getting an ES44 heritage unit for Pennsylvania Railroad, but not sure about everything being high gloss. Do you have any high gloss loaded with fingerprints? I don't have any. Oh no, I guess I do. Both of my brass right-of-way engines, they're not high gloss. They're not like super glossy, but yeah, you can tell on those engines when there's fingerprints and such on them. A little bit of Windex on a microfiber takes care of that. I haven't had huge issues with high gloss stuff. I see some folks will literally like handle high gloss stuff with gloves. I suppose if you're leaving it on the track, if you have like a turntable or something you can put them away in, you never really have to handle them, which is nice. But if you don't, if you're going on and off shelves like we are, then you're constantly having to move stuff. Or just have hidden tunnels like we do that act as engine storage. Blue Nami, what's my opinion? I am stalling on doing the Blue Nami upgrade to my Great Northern because I still need to get the Great Northern's gearing and all that stuff lubricated properly. I don't want to have to mess with that and do Blue Nami. Blue Nami is great until it isn't, and it's usually not Blue Nami's fault. It's usually the installer that is crossing wires or doesn't have things wired up like reliably enough, because it's way more than just a headlight. It's everything. So there's a lot you have to do to get that installed. But once it's installed and installed properly, works a treat. I only wish that there was some way that it could be used with DCS or Lionel's system. The fact that it's only in an app, it can't be used conventionally. It's only app at that point. I don't really like fiddling with screens when I'm trying to control trains, so I usually set it and get him going, and then just operate everything else around him with a remote. I usually don't run that one too much. Maybe it'll be different when I have two of them. I don't know, because we're going to have... The Bull Moose is Blue Nami already, and the 03 or N3 Great Northern is gonna get it. So I'll have two that have Blue Nami, so it'll be better to have both on with the app, I suppose. So we'll try that out and see. That's honestly my only qualm with Blue Nami, is that you have to have an app to control it. It doesn't work off of a remote. It's not compatible with anything else. Or you could just say that Lionel and MTH aren't compatible with anything else, and it's their fault, because Blue Nami works off of DCC. But yeah, I like it. I think if I had more engines that had it, I might enjoy it more, but I would want, like... Right now, it's either my phone acting as the controller, which I use for filming and this, obviously, or it's the iPad that's my son's, which oftentimes gets run down on batteries and forgets to get recharged. So I don't have like a dedicated controller for app-based stuff. I would say if you're going to do Blue Nami, to have like an old phone or an older tablet that you just use for controlling trains. Which is a big ask, because, you know, if you get like a tablet or something, that's more expensive than like a remote. So someone said the traction tire change looks daunting on Polar Express. Nah, it's not bad. Oh, sweet. J Farm Display just got his first TMCC engine. What'd you get? Let us know. CCMF says, yes, Lionel MTH are the problem. They are... Excuse me. There are no good options, just the ones that you have bought the most of. Yes. Yeah, so if you have the most Blue Nami, then Blue Nami works. If you have the most Lionel, then Lionel works. If you have the most MTH, then MTH works. And TMCC to a point. Will Dadified change themes as my son gets older and gets new hobbies, or stay with trains? That's a good question. Because this is like he has other interests and other stuff that he does, and he does taekwondo, and like we do stuff with Legos, and we do a bunch of other stuff. And originally the plan for the channel was to kind of just do what he was into. And it seemed like the folks that were following us for the train stuff were really following the train stuff and couldn't care less about anything else. Because they were following us for the train stuff, not for the Nerf and the Hot Wheels and other stuff that we were doing. And so the channel got very focused on trains. And now the basement has become very focused on trains. And I don't foresee the train thing going away anytime soon. There was a little while there where I wondered if it would, and shoot, now he's running stuff without me even being here anymore. It used to be like a, we only do this when Dad's home sort of deal, but now he runs it whenever. But that's a good question. I don't know. If he changes like direction and I get into another hobby with him, then I'll be Dadified that direction, I guess. But I don't know if I would probably make another channel at that point. Because trying to do the back and forth with different channel focuses and stuff has not worked well in the past. So, great question, Tom. Blue Nami is perfect. I have 3 diesel and a steamer soon. They have more installed. The company that makes Blue Nami should create a remote for it. Yeah, that'd be nice. Because then you could just, even if it was just something like basic. But wait, couldn't you just get like a DCC controller and do that? I don't know. You'd have to like convert how the controller like connect. Because I don't think it's remote control. I think it's literally just controls that are connected to the line. I don't know. I haven't done that. Let me know in the comments if you have. Got a New York Central 280. The consolidation. Nice. Is there any way to plug a base 3 into Ethernet, or is it really Wi-Fi only? No LCS Ethernet module. I'm struggling with my base 3 connected to my network. Always have to use it in AP mode. That's what I've been doing here. I mean, yeah, there's Ethernet controls back here, and there's maybe? No, it just says LCS 1, 2, and 3. And then this thing, I don't know what's in that plug. Sure, I don't know. I should probably be careful and not pull these wires out. If I lose my, turn on the track power and everything's just going to fly off if they don't get signal from the base 3. That would be hilarious and terrible. I wish Blue Nami had the smoke feature. There is a smoke feature. There's a way to do smoke that Sid has done. I have not figured that out yet. That's another reason I'm kind of holding off on doing the Great Northern Blue Nami conversion, is because I want to kind of do more with this one. I just basically got the bull moose running. No smoke, no anything. So yeah, it'd be really nice to add smoke to the Great Northern one, and then figure out how to add it, then retrofit my existing Blue Nami with the bull moose. Mine connects to Google Mesh. What's Mesh? Get a Wi-Fi Ethernet bridge. That might work. 3 LCS ports and the memory module slot. No Ethernet, unfortunately. Yeah, just to have it directly connected to the internet would be really cool. But guess not. Oh, well, that's fine. Or get a different Wi-Fi router. I mean, yeah, like, because the other thing, like they say, is don't put the base in a place where it's covered, which it is, and don't put it underneath a TV, which it is. Maybe that's why I'm having internet issues with it, because both the things they said not to do are in this environment. Oops. Ah, well, need to wrap things up here anyways, so we can get some lunch. But thank you guys for joining us for lunch on here. Thank you also to everyone that, I didn't even know I was going to make a Lion Master Big Boy Fund, but you guys have started one, so that's a thing. Thank you all for the support, for hanging out with us today. And got stuff coming up for our Friday videos, obviously, and shorts and stuff like that. So stay tuned for those. And we'll see you all on the next one. Bye.
What are you doing?
I haven't ended it yet.